Hey guys, welcome back to the shack. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different. Got a friend coming over today. We've been working on a rehab of sorts for a little camper trailer and trying to get it finished up. It's been a process. I'm going to throw some pictures up there so you can see what we started with and where we're going. That's it back there in the background, and not sure why my background is so cloudy, but anyway, it's a bit of an overcast day here in Alabama, but I think it's got something to do with the cloud cover. But there he is. He pulled up and don't know what I'm doing with the camera, so he's waiting on me. But there's the camper, and yeah, it's got a tarp over it right now because he's got the new tent part ordered, and it should be getting here pretty soon. But stick around for a few minutes, and I'll kind of show you what we've been up to, what we're doing, and show you our progress. All right, guys, just getting started this morning. There's Brandy, that's my wife, by the way. When we first brought this thing home, I kind of led her to believe that I had bought it and that it was mine. And she knows I got too many projects already. But as you can see, this thing was sitting for a while. I mean, it's got if I can get pointed to it, it needed some cleaning and some TLC. We covered it up with a tarp last night in case it rained because it still does have some leaks, and it's out here in the open. And Eric's getting the tarp off of it now. But I'm gonna throw some, like I said, I'm gonna throw some before pictures into this too. But all of this is gonna be replaced. He's ordered the new one, but apparently it takes a while to get those in, and had some problems inside. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you what the inside looks like. All right, so it's kind of weird how it's got to actually have a door, even though the trailer itself's only like, you know, half of the build. Like I said, all this is going to be replaced. He's got it ordered. But here's the inside, and this is what we've been doing the past couple of days. Been building these countertops here. This guy here had a lot of, it had gotten wet, of course, and so we had to just basically take the cabinets out of it, take them apart, reproduce parts of it, and then put them back together, which is a little more challenging than building from scratch because you kind of got to go by the pre-existing measurements. It did have a like a little gas range right there, but my buddy decided that he didn't want to keep the gas range because he has like a little portable griddle that he likes to cook on. So we went ahead and took that out of there, and he's going to use the gas range if he needs to, the little griddle here. But most of the time camping, they do the cooking outside. All in all, you know, a lot of the bedding was in good shape. I mean, the camper hadn't been used that much. All of the OSB in here, I mean, all of this was in good shape. Inside the cabinets was actually really good. We just had to make new covers for them because they used like some MDF or whatnot, and it got a little wet in here and got humidity to it, and it all swole up and messed up. We did actually incorporate, there was a little void under here, so we incorporated just a little hidden door there. We've ripped up the floor, and this is the last phase of what we're going to do today is get this hardwood flooring put down. This is the snap together stuff that you buy, and we're going to try to get that down. And then him and his wife has insisted on doing the painting and staining and all that. So we've just got the finished product up here, and we're going to send it to her for the final coat of paint. But there's still some other things that need to be done, but this was a bargain buy. It was kind of one of those backyard finds, and it's relatively unhurt. Everything works. We've been testing the air conditioner / heater, and it works as well. Swap these out with LEDs. Like I said, it's going to be decent for what he's got in it. I think his build cost is definitely worth what he's got here. So, all right, that's it for the walkthrough, guys. Like I said, I'm going to be incorporating some before pictures into the video so you have an idea where we started here. My wife over here, she's really thinking about getting me one of these. So yeah, you can tell by her reaction that's not the case. But when it pulled up in the yard, though, it was pretty funny that she thought that he was bringing it for me, and that's something you got to know the back history on the camper thing. That's kind of, we've been back and forth on that for years. But yeah, there's Eric. He's got his power drink there, a little chocolate milk there. But we got our hardwood flooring, and what I'll probably do, I'll probably try to set the camera up and just get a few clips and work that in. I don't want y'all to see our plumber crack while we put the floor down. I think many of y'all will appreciate that. So, because this is a small space, kind of a confined space we're going to be working in today. But I'll show you a few clips maybe and try to pull some more video out here shortly. All right, do get a glimpse into the shack here for a minute, guys. This is one of the countertops that we didn't really account for, but we had replaced all the rest of them, and we had that one oddball in there. And so we had to go ahead and do it. So what we did is we took the scrap pieces from the other ones to keep from having to buy another panel. And we put them together and made this guy. And we had to glue it up, so waiting on it to dry. And it should be cured this morning, so we're gonna be putting it in here shortly. But there it is. What it is this two-inch wide pieces of the panels that we had for the countertops. And then the middle part is one solid panel. So you've got boards going this way and then the two end boards. Kind of thrown together, but it saved us a trip to get more lumber, and we made use of the scrap. So I'm gonna get the clamps off of this and try to get it out there, see what it looks like. All righty. All right.
I'll come tell you how you did.
Yeah. Work? Perfect. Wait a minute, check, make sure what size nails. Yeah, we got long ones in there, so you good? So you know we gotta take these cabinets back off probably to snap this floor together, right? These cabinet doors. We need to take that. We need to take that little metal piece off too. I'll go get the impact. All right, guys, we got the flooring down, did a little bit of trim back here on the back. Like I said, this is I think he said he paid $500 for this thing. So we have fixed all the soft spots in the floor. We've got the cabinets fixed, got everything back together, retopped all of the counters, and I'll walk you around and show you each one in a second. Got the hardwood floor put down, and the finishing touch that I'm wanting to do to this thing is I made a solid hickory threshold that's going to go right there where the hardwood meets the door, because there was a little bit of a down step right there from the hardwood down to, because it had linoleum in it before. So in order to accomplish having a smooth transition there, not having any gaps, I'm going to be making a little hickory threshold to go there, and we're going to be engraving it. So I am going to incorporate a laser into this little project, but give me just a second. I'll get the camera and just kind of show you, just kind of walk you around as you look at everything. All right, guys, there's a hardwood. We got it put down. Now, we've still got that piece of trim that goes on that little slide out. We've still got that thing off. That's got to be put back on there. It's just laying right there. There's that cabinet. Like, we got all the, like I said, it's a camper. It's a cheap camper, but it's gonna be nice too. It's a lot nicer than a tent, which is what my buddy was destined to do, was tent camping. There was a soft spot underneath that dresser there. So we put some new 3/4 inch subfloor in there and got that repaired. And then this thing, like I said, the bottom part of it had some water damage and was getting really soft, and it was kind of collapsing. So we disassembled it and rebuilt it, but we saved the cabinet doors and reused those. His wife's going to be doing all the painting and everything to try to get it painted the color she wants and stained and all that. So we're just doing the construction part. Like I said, they will be putting a new boot. But there's where the threshold's going to go. And we've already got the hole cut out, got it fitted, fit checked it. So I'm just going to go inside and engrave it, and then we'll be ready to countersink some screws and put it on there. All right, guys, after a whole lot of framing and trying to get used to this new machine and how it works, I've got the burn going. I believe everything is framed properly. It looked good in the framing process, so we're going for it. Worst case, we run this thing through the planer, take 1/8 of an inch off of it, and I break out the X-Tool D1 and put it in a jig. But I think I got it good enough. And it does smell kind of like you're roasting pecans or something in here, though, because this is hickory wood. It is a member of the nut family. It's a very hard wood for this threshold, so I don't have to worry about it breaking. And it doesn't cut sand or route very easy, but it burns really nice and dark. So I think it's going to be a good accent piece to the doorway. Like I said, just add a little clack shack touch to it. Can't talk anybody and let me put the logo there, so we're gonna pass on that. But this is my new Swarsh. I can't even say it, guys. I'm just gonna quit trying. But we'll see how well it does on this engrave. So far, the resolution and the clarity, the darkness of the burn is looking really well. I almost forgot to set the focus, because as I told you on the video where I revealed this thing, you have to use the home button, and when you do, if it's it has to be over the top of the material, you hit the home button, the machine calibrates itself and sets its own Z-axis and adjusts the focus itself, so you don't have to touch that. I do like that part about it. And even if this was a much longer piece of wood, it's going to be a very similar process. I did learn that because there is a very slight variation sometimes, and it could be my table's fault, we figured out that it's best to start in the middle, set the design for the middle, and then allow the machine to go left and right. That way, if there is any variation, you know, if you half the distance that you travel, you decrease the amount of offset by half as well. So that seems to have been a very good idea. So we've got it going, and I'll check back with you once it's done. It looks like it's going to be a lengthy burn. All right, guys, it's down to the last little bit of the last letter. So, and it appears to be fairly straight. I was a little worried. Like I said, I'm very inexperienced with this machine. Everything that I've done with it so far was an engrave and cut out type of burn. So I was a little worried that things weren't going to go well, but it appears that it went pretty well. If there is a margin of error, I think it is probably within acceptable tolerances. So it should be finishing up here in just a second, and we'll get a look at it. But there was no hiccups along the way with the machine. Early on, I was having some problems with the Wi-Fi losing connection during burns. I changed some of the settings in light burn, and that appears to have fixed the issue. So I think it turned out pretty good. There may be a slight deviation downward on the right side, maybe. Looks like about 1/4 of an inch there. If there is, it's very, very slight. So it's not a whole lot. So there's our threshold. We still got to put some screw holes in this thing. I'm going to hit it with a sander a little bit, get these little pencil marks we put on there, and countersink some screw holes, and then we're going to go put this thing in place. All right, guys, it's raining, so we're having to come in and out, but just wanted to show you what we wound up with on the threshold. There it is. I can't stay long. Camera's gonna get wet, but threshold is in place. It's recessed there to allow for that little piece of metal that was already in the floor, and then the back side, I've got almost 1/4 of an inch gap behind it there under the bottom of it to allow for the hardwood. And so now they don't need a welcome mat. They've already got a welcome threshold. All right, guys, Mother Nature has decided to test the camper here for Eric and see if it's leaking. And so far it's held up. He's already took and caulked a lot of the stuff on the top, and changed out some gaskets and stuff around the air conditioner and all that to try to keep it from leaking. And so far it is not leaking. We were happy to report that because we spent the past 2 days working, trying to get the cabinets redone and get everything up to, you know, where it needed to be for a camper. This is, like I said, this is going to be their little weekend getaway camper. Nothing too elaborate, but for the money invested so far, it's turned out pretty well. And we kind of customized it, like I said, with the hardwood flooring we put in there, as well as the threshold, and the cabinet. The countertops are all pine bonded boards countertops. So I think it's gonna look pretty good. I think it's gonna work well for him. He seems pretty happy with it. And like I said, everybody that goes into the camper, they're gonna be the only one in the campsite, I can promise you, that has a welcome threshold in the door there. But that was just a way for us to go from the old linoleum-based floor up to the hardwood without having that, you know, that sudden edge on the hardwood, or without having to go out and try to source a threshold made specifically for this flooring. We just grabbed a piece of hickory and made one. So that's going to conclude the video, guys. I just thought I'd bring you along and kind of show you a little sample of what we did. I didn't feel like toting the camera around for the past 2 days, all the time. But I hope maybe this just kind of fills in some blanks for you and just shows you what is capable with just a few tools, and especially with a customized threshold, a laser engraver. But until next time, guys, as always, be safe and have a good day.